So y'all, I'm working as always, and progress is being made, and I'm just in love with her. I don't even know what else to say. I'm in love with her. So I'm going back to a particular style that I did when I first started selling my work, which was creating circles as hair. I just thought it was so whimsical, so fun, so girly, so carefree, and my mind was on that today, and my spirit was on that today. So I said, well, let me pick up a brush and put little circles in her hair, and it felt right. It felt right. I don't know if they'll stay. We'll see how it goes, but for now, that's just the vibe. And I guess my message tonight is don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid to pivot. Don't be afraid to do something else. Don't be afraid to do something new. Don't be afraid to revisit something that you put aside. You know, I as an artist, you hear opinions about what's worth what, right? And there are types of work that are considered sophisticated, and there are types of work that are considered museum quality, of course, and there are types of work that are considered minimalistic, and you have other types of work that's considered opulent for high status folks. And there's different tastes. I like to think that I attract women who are usually collect dolls. That's what I imagine. They are young at heart. They are very in tune with their inner child. They get things because it feels right. Everything is a feeling based, and usually that feeling is some type of a warm feeling like love, motivates them, and something different, being different appeals to them. Not being of the norm, let's say, would be appealing to the people who collect my work. And of course, that's my what I visualize, and monitoring those who have purchased my work in the past, they fit that description too. So I'm saying that to say there's room for all types of things. There isn't only one way. I've never been a Gucci bag kind of girl. I don't even like bags. I don't even like carrying bags. Even to this day, I would stick my credit cards and my driver's license and whatever, my Costco card or whatever it is. I would stick it in my bra and just head out the door. Like if I had to put everything in a bag, it would just annoy the heck out of me. So I'm never going to be that girl that spends $1,000 on a bag. You'll never find me doing that. Although I have had expensive bags that were gifted to me. It's just not something that I find important. And that's okay. You have a right to decide what is important for you. I personally gravitate towards things that make me feel good. It has to make me feel good. It's not just about a label for me. The worth of something is based on what how it changes my mood, what it makes me reflect on, what thoughts come to mind when I'm around this thing, when I'm looking at this thing, when I'm touching this thing. To me, that's where the worth comes in at. And lately, I'm just really, really embracing the child at heart. When I was coming up, Cabbage Patch dolls, where every girl wanted a Cabbage Patch doll, and I think back on the appeal because the dolls weren't so cute. They weren't the cutest kind of dolls, but it had a little birth certificate, and you can name it, and it just felt so real. And it goes back to that. It was the feeling. It was a feeling that you really had something real. You almost had a little child of your own. And I remember being in Toys R Us, mothers was fighting each other to get these boxes with these damn Cabbage Patch dolls, you know? So the value that we assign to things makes them worthwhile. And I like to think that my work is valuable in its own way because it makes you stop and look and reflect. It has you thinking about softness and vulnerability, maybe. It has you thinking about, does this girl need a hug? I want to hug her. I've been told that quite a bit over the years since painting. Women have told me, I just want to hold her. You know, I just want to hold her and comfort her, and that made me feel good to know that invoked or that triggered that type of emotion where you just wanted to protect her, protect that image that you see on the canvas. I mean, it felt so good to hear, you know. So I guess I'm saying all of this to say, know what your worth is, and it doesn't have to look like what everyone else thinks worth is supposed to look like, you know? It is always going to be about a feeling, for at least for me anyway. And I think feeling based things go a lot further than, let's say, status based things or things that you get based on what other people or what you assume other people will think of you for having that, because people are not thinking that deep. I always say someone forgets you as soon as they get hungry. As soon as their blood sugar drops, they've forgotten about what you're trying to do to impress them. They forgot everything you've given them. They've forgotten about you, the next hunger pain. And it really is like that simple to be forgotten. When someone feels like they need something, they're not thinking about you. It's survival mode. Not so romantic, but it is what it is. So the work that I do, to me, is eclectic, it's eccentric, it is one of a kind. It definitely is one of a kind. Um, it's for the memories, it's for the feeling. It's when you walk out your door and you look at it and go, yep, it's about love. It's about love. It's about me having worth, me having value, no matter what anyone thinks, you know? So if you're interested in becoming a collector, or maybe you are already and you want to add another piece to your collection, I welcome you to come back to the family or come to the family and go to iloveherart.com, and see you soon.